All right, welcome back. Welcome back to Greenbox Gaming. We are here for our second ever Q&A. We had one a long time ago, back I think in season 1, but we want to do another one. We finished Impossible Landscapes. We're doing Brad's Remember to Forget Delta Green series, which has been super good thus far, by the way, Brad. And I am, of course, joined by Brad. I am joined by Dace, and I am joined by Jean.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Hello. Okay. So, yeah, today we have a bunch of, what's your deal, man? Do you have a...
I'm curious if you can see the disparate energy, because for Brad and I, it's what, 10:30?
Yeah, 10:30.
What time is it for you, Joe?
It's 8. It's 8 for me. And for Jean.
PM.
And for, our sweet, sweet Jean.
5 in the morning.
No, he literally turned on his camera.
No one should be alive at this point of the day.
He turned on his camera.
What a fucking trooper, though.
And
what
he
a
was
trooper.
wearing a bathrobe with a hoodie with the hood up.
It's just how I roll.
Also,
What is that thing in all seriousness, Sean?
It's my binky.
It wasn't a bathrobe. It's like...
It's a what?
No, I don't know. It's not a binky, like a comfort binky. Am I saying it
binky.
right? You guys don't get
binky.
Well,
binkies.
it looked like something out of
A binky,
it looked like
you
something
say?
out of Dune, right? Like it was wrapped over.
What the
We
hell
were
is a
like-
binky?
Oh.
yeah, he looks
it's
like
just
a
like a-
Fremen from Dune.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. More the still suit type thing. Or the robes they wear around it, rather.
That's how I get to sleep. It's a sleep apnea
Shia
machine. You need a still suit to just keep hydrated. for sleep.
Jean Allude.
Shadaloo.
There's something in there.
God, I didn't realize South
Okay,
Africa was that.
there is
fucking
actually
harsh.
a point to this episode. Stick with us. You'll find out.
Oh yes, that's right.
And now it's time
yeah.
for our first commercial break.
But yeah, we wanted
Brought to you by Binky. Whatever the fuck that is.
Binky.
No, trouble
getting up in the morning.
Binky.
That's the thing that children suck on, right?
Yes.
That's a
Yeah.
binky.
It is also that.
That's
yes.
a pacifier.
Well, yes, but I think
Okay.
binky is like a slang term for
Really?
the uncultured.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Sean. Do you have something smart to say?
No,
got
I
something?
think I undid that joke in my mind. I'm gonna leave it. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Okay.
Oh, do you want the binky version of? Okay, so it would be binky as opposed to binky. Bring in 6 images of the big ship. Binky.
What are those? Your vocal warm-ups for your Russian accent?
Yes.
Very good.
I actually put some effort into this one, and there's man, I wish I'd written down the channel, but I didn't. But there's lots of very good ones on here, like dress, as in something that you would wear, equals dris. So the tongue twister is Fred the elegant elephant was fed lemons in bed.
So like did you so for Natalia you went and found a YouTube accent channel and actually studied this?
Yeah, I don't know if it shows, but yeah, I did it. I did the homework.
good on
I
you,
was
man.
staying up at Brad's house, and I had nothing to do, and I was like,
That's why
might as fucking well.
all his characters are going to be Russian from now on.
Please, we definitely put in the work.
It's simply gone too far.
No, I just imagine Maria turning over and be like, "Can you go out there and tell him to turn that off?" Because he's just blaring it in your living room and warning him.
Sounds like a...
You're just strut equals strut. My brother stumbled in a clump of shrubs above us.
This is wild. Anyway, so now you guys have gotten, I know, the much requested look into Dace's process. So there you go.
Yeah.
I know that's the first thing, but we're here for a Q&A, and you guys asked for it, and that's what you want to know. You want to know, how does Dace get to his characters? And that's how he does it. But we also have other questions. We have other questions. We have some from Patreon. We have some from Reddit. And a lot of them are about Impossible Landscapes, but some of them are just about kind of other stuff as well. So let's go ahead and get started here. So some of these are like for you guys as players of Impossible Landscape. Some of them are for for Brad or for me, as like the handlers and stuff. So let's just start. Let's start with the first one I got.
And John. John was a handler.
No one asked for Jean, actually.
Oh,
God damn.
it's too real.
It just, ever since dodgeball class in the 3rd grade, no one chooses Sean. It just doesn't stop. Anyway, so our first
Sean Mon, I choose you.
Jean Mon.
No.
Jean Mon would imply that he was a Digimon, actually. So he would speak in full sentences. Anyway.
And have a gun for some reason, for an arm. At some point.
Fucking cat.
All of this tracks. He is so lax with gun laws. Like, there's one thing I've said about Gianluca. He is so lax. He never puts locks on any of his triggers, and he's got so many fucking guns.
A lot.
A
surprising amount.
And
coming out of my
international
ears.
criminal should.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, back to the Q&A.
I feel like we've answered all the
our-
questions. That's a wrap. Thank you very much for joining.
We're about done.
I can wrap this up.
Right?
We're about
Yeah,
done.
good
Nobody
work,
asked for
guys.
me, so you can all fuck off. Bye-bye.
All right, so our first one is from Ouija. This one is from over on the Patreon. Says, "Hi boys, long time listener, first time caller. Following the events of the finale, is Delta Green still hunting M-Cell? If so, how long does Benedict evade them and how? Thanks for doing what y'all do. I love the show. Got a friend to listen. We appreciate it, Ouija."
Nice.
So, I mean, hell, that's kind of for you, Jean. Like, geez.
I think it's a duo
It's
question.
you
So do
and
think,
it's Joe and
yeah.
John.
Do you think
I
that
think.
they're still hunting M-Cell? Like, when did they lose track of M-Cell? Actually, if you think through the chronology.
I really do think, because I think, unless I'm mistaken, I think we had said in the sanity check that basically, Jean doesn't lose his mind, although, that's neither here nor there. We're not here to
Still
talk.
Tom.
Yeah. There's still time, yeah. He
He said he
hasn't
was
run through all his
happy
bonds
earlier.
yet.
Madness.
Yeah, man. But so when you guys went in there, I mean, Delta Green was still looking for you. They were looking for you in Boston, and you guys had moved to Chicago. But so Benedict comes out of Benedict comes out, and he loses his mind for a while. Like you met that the side pile of sanity. He takes it all at once. He just lost 2 of his bonds, his 2 teammates. Saw a lot of crazy shit in Carcosa. So he loses his mind. And honestly, I don't know if you can go more off the grid than also not knowing who you are yourself, to be frank. So I don't know. I guess the question is then for John, when Benedict comes back to eventually, does he continue to just live off grid, get a new identity? He can't go back to being Benedict. He will be found. And I think he would know that.
Yeah. On the other hand, he came out of that entire campaign. He was not a veteran, but he then became a veteran. And after 4 seasons of it and surviving, he's probably fairly good at evading. I mean, he got a lot of experience through that to just get out eventually. So there's maybe a bit of an argument to be made that he's learned enough to know how to get out of things. But didn't we say at the end of the episode that, or maybe in the aftermath, he went and found Sunshine and basically went to go visit Sunshine? Or did I make that up? No, that was my own red comment.
I think that might have been your own thing, but because there's no way you would have known that Sunshine was.
No.
I mean, keep in mind, Sunshine was also in the Night Floors version of the Dorchester in your day,
right.
so you'd have had to enter back into the Night Floors, Night World stuff.
Well, I like the idea of being inextricably tied back to all of it, just like everybody got trapped effectively at the end. Spoilers, sorry. I think he also probably just gets trapped inadvertently by like going to the Dorchester or something. I don't know. I would love to think about that. But anyways, to answer the question, maybe he would evade them just because he has enough experience. But I think inevitably he'd either get found. I just think it's up to whether they're still looking for him. I don't know. Is there more insurgency? Is there more infection coming out of it? Would they actually be interested in Benedict after all that? Or would they just be trying to damage control the yellow sign, the king in yellow?
Joe, would DG be like case closed? I mean, it sounds like from their perspective, this shit is getting more and more out of hand. This
we did not help
the file and the Yellow King or whatever they have.
Well, yeah, they don't know anything that happened after you guys left Boston. Right, they don't know any of it.
Yeah, but I'm assuming they keep.
You've escaped, and that you are still at large, and you are still a problem. So I think they're still looking for you, and I think they will continue to look for you. Now, keep in mind, Delta Green, because everything's so compartmentalized, another element of Delta Green might run into you and not know there's a death sentence on your head. Right, like it's possible. You know, so
for Benedict specifically, I think thanks to Katie's amazing imaginings, he's kind of shaved and kind of a little bit grizzled, but mostly just this frail old man. I think he'd just grow out a beard, like straight up neglect himself to the point of just this gigantic beard where he looks homeless, I figure, and might be very hard to find. And the way that he's now wayward, probably doesn't go home, probably doesn't have anything to go home to. He might just wander forever, and then maybe...
Well, you definitely wander the streets of Chicago for a while. You might end up back at that theater a few times, like just a sad old man just kind of attached to this place.
Maybe catch a
Mel
glimpse
Gibson,
of
call us if you want rights to this character.
What? No, I'm not giving him up. I won't sign him. He's mine.
Wait, hold on. Why Mel Gibson in particular?
I think they just described Mel Gibson to a T.
Just like sad, disheveled, wandering,
beard, old man, crazy.
Yeah, I would say
wandering
definitely
the streets.
some evasion, but for how long? I don't know. I don't know if it's inevitable that he'd be caught by Delta Green. I think it would be more inevitable that he goes insane or somehow tragically finds his demise.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good enough question. Good enough answer. Jean, do you have the questions pulled up in front of you?
I do.
Okay.
I'm going to read the next
Why don't you... well, I will say the next one, someone did ask, because originally I had said on...
Is that an 11-part question?
It's a question
from Black
for each of
Moonchild?
us. Yes, Black Moonchild was one of the ones because that was the one that I had said originally on my posting. I had said, well, this is your chance. Leave your questions in the comments, and we will do our best to answer all but the sexy ones in our next Q&A questions.
Yeah.
And of course, Black Moonchild then asked immediately, why will our sexy questions not be answered? And the answer is, Black Moonchild, because you can't handle it. That's why. Especially
That's why
not
this one's not
sexy,
televised.
deep voice morning, John. Yeah, this is why it's not recording.
Yeah.
I will
But
tell
Joe,
you,
Black Moonchild is a $100 tier Patreon member.
maybe on your Patreon. Listen, I don't. It's between you and Black Moonchild what they pay for over on your Patreon. Okay, I'm not going to get involved. And I told you.
Did you not see the edit that I made to our tiers? This was like 6 months ago, dude. There's a $100 tier, which is
and you've got a lot of
hardcore
legal
porn.
liability.
a lot of
You
legal
owe people.
I've been wondering why I've been getting those summonses sent to my home.
Summonses for porn.
The company is in your name. Man, I really should have brought that edit to your attention earlier, but yeah, you have to roleplay X-rated content between our characters
Damn
now.
it.
So if you could go ahead.
All right.
You have the stage.
Okay. Benji is nude. And
Oh my god, stop.
all right. So the first one, Jean, why don't you take that first one there for you?
Okay.
Because it is for you.
Jean, you played Benedict as the realist in air quotes. and would have him curtly interject with common sense about leaving bad situations or sacrificing NPCs in order to ensure the safety of the group. Given Delta Green's lethal reputation, did you believe he would be the one to make it out in the end? No, absolutely not. I thought he was done probably one season in. If you remember, he was a little bit fresh at all of this, and his main go-to would be to go and smash things, to go up and walk to the unnatural and smash them as a means of resolving problems. But I do think he learned his lesson early on, and maybe got some key experience to be a little more selfish.
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah,
a very stabby karma.
Yeah.
Wait, learn what lesson early on? What lesson are you talking about?
Don't go ahead and walk up to the unnatural and smack them in the head. It's not good for you. Not good for you.
Which instance are you talking about? When you smashed the magical typewriter?
No, the lion.
Or the lion?
The lion.
Like,
Yeah.
the lion.
I
Okay.
fucking stabbed him.
Oh yeah.
But to be fair, after we fought the lion, you then went upstairs and smashed the magical.
That's a good
He's right. You
what is it
didn't
called?
learn.
He maybe didn't learn
I think
his
that was
lesson.
typing out the play.
This is revisionist history, and I will not stand for it. Jean-Luca.
It's been a long time, okay? We're different people since that happened. But I guess what he did learn was to be more selfish. So perhaps there was a chance. I always wanted him to make it because I thought it would be interesting. But I didn't really think he would.
All right, Dace, you want to take that next one? That's for you.
Can you? Okay, so I have this weird thing where when I read stuff out loud, I don't internalize it. Would you mind reading it for me?
Sure.
I can read one for you if we could trade.
Yeah, sure. I'll read yours. So, given how you voiced Benji, there was an immediate foundation of levity or whimsy with him as a character. Do you think this contrasted with how he ultimately was taken, or that made his loss even harder? You got him with that one. He's thinking.
Ooh. Right in the
No,
feels.
I think it made his loss taken harder despite the voice. I don't think so. If I had known how long this campaign was going to go on and how long Benji was going to exist, I might not have rolled with that choice of voice. My before we started playing, like, all we had heard was Delta Green played by the Glass Cannon, and I thought it was sort of like a meat grinder, or not necessarily a meat grinder, but like, your characters are inevitably going to go insane or be rendered defunct somehow. And so when we first dived into our we did play
Control group. Yeah.
control group first, but that kind of happened in control group, right? Like,
Yeah, it did.
a lot of our didn't a lot of our
People
characters
died.
get like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
they
think
got
everyone
fucked up.
died but mine in that one.
Yeah,
I'm not
it was
entirely
bad.
sure.
So I was literally just walking around in my living room, and it's like, oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And it's like, ugh. There's a guy that I work with that just had this goofy voice, and I was like, can I replicate that? And then, if I had known it was going to go as long as it did, I might not have made that choice. But I'm not unhappy that I did. Like, I think it was a really bizarre and interesting thing that happened with him.
Yeah.
So it sounds like the voice was just everything besides the voice to you was pretty serious when it comes to the Benji character.
I mean, the voice is also like tied into it. It's like he's basically Barney Potts. Wait, Barney
Fife.
Barney Fife.
Fife. Thank you, Barney Fife. If Barney Fife from the Andy Griffith Show in Mayberry was a
in
blues
Delta
man,
Green.
which is absurd. It's an absurd premise. Like, I understand that.
But it was good. Like, and again, it's like there were things that's like, and when he snapped and kills Barbas, like that's one of my favorite scenes of the whole thing. And I do not think it would have meant as much if it had been Benedict or Hank.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think it'd have been as interesting as a moment,
Well, I'm glad you think so.
Yeah.
I felt like it was kind of like one of those things where it's funny for like, like 2 episodes, and then it just
and then
was.
it was just it was
And that was just the
skin
way it
humor.
was after that.
And it was, no, it was a well executed accent where it was like initially a good hook, and then you just rolled with it and played that character, which was great.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if I answered the question.
Kind
Not
of.
at
Do
all.
you think it
Do you think
contrasts?
this contrasted how you?
You answered it. You said
No,
it
I
didn't
think-
contrast.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. Next question.
You're wrong. You're wrong, Black Moonchild.
The answer is no, and you're wrong for answering that question.
not even
And
asking.
I'm coming for you, motherfucker.
All right.
You're in the
Alright.
family when we treat you
Brad.
like this.
Yeah.
Hank's outbursts were few, but in my view, were accurate with how frustrating and maddening the chase for Abigail was. Did you come from them at an angle of an angry cop or more scared dad? I think it was
We have a
definitely
lot
like.
of illegitimate children, so I feel like that was like right school
Yeah,
service.
Well,
I
a lot
don't,
of
there's
you.
not.
Weird.
There's no room for her in the family. I think it was definitely.
She doesn't eat soup. She's a solitarian.
Soliditary.
Solitarian.
Will you come with me? I have soup. Please come with me, Abigail.
No, I'm a solitarian. I simply cannot thank you.
No, I cannot eat some spoons.
I don't think it was ever. I don't think he ever saw her as like someone like a. I don't think he thought he was a fatherly figure or anything because he didn't even know her. It was definitely cop at first, but then inevitably it got more personal as it did for everybody. So, but he didn't even know her, so I don't think it would be like, personal like a friend or a child. But it was just personal in the sense that the case was personal.
Did it become like an obsessive
So-
detective type of?
Yeah, I think it was more of like an obsessive detective type thing than.
It was that one case I never solved. Like it was that thing, and it became
Yeah.
part of his identity.
Yeah.
That was possibly the only thing that kept us on track at the end there was Hank being like, his rants about Abigail.
Yeah.
It's really good.
You notice how the game
You
ended.
didn't have to
after
burp
he
when I
did-
said that.
Sorry. That's
You're gross. That's okay.
yeah. You notice how I ended the game for everybody as soon as I found Abigail.
Yep.
I just
that's
killed
it.
people. It was over.
Yeah. All right. You want to go ahead?
So I see you got one, Joe.
Yeah. Were you going to read that for me, or did we switched? We swapped.
Would you prefer me to?
No, I'll read it.
Okay.
I like saying nice things about myself, so I'll read it.
Okay, go ahead.
Firstly, congrats on running a marvelous campaign. You're welcome. Black Moonchild.
See the face he gave us.
GPG, both GPG and Glass Cannon Nation have created multi-year campaigns that I've thoroughly enjoyed, and have really set up how Delta Green should be presented by a handler.
Nice. Next question.
I
Oh well,
praise.
but
Kidding.
next question. But so here's the actual questions. I'll go ahead and mute Jean. There's a button here somewhere.
No, I think I think John should be the handler on this one.
But then he
Go
has
ahead.
2 questions. He says, "Is the effort you put in anywhere comparable to your college university's post-secondary experience of my thesis project?" No, no, absolutely not.
Wait, which one's more? Which one's more
Next
effort?
question is, it doesn't matter which one's
Goddamn.
more.
Fine.
They both get how much they get, and that's it. But the
Pleading
next
the
question
fifth,
is,
I
it's
hear
kind of
you.
weird that 2 Joes have both run excellent campaigns of Postal Landscapes, and that is, of course, referring to Glass Cannon's Joe also ran their campaign. No, I don't think it's weird, because Joe's an awesome name, and it's given to awesome people. So, bam, that's it.
Did you write these responses before?
Yeah, actually,
we
I'm
recorded
doubting.
this? Did you read all these questions and write these responses?
Questions, actually.
I actually wrote the questions.
Yeah.
You wrote. Okay, we didn't have it, so these are all from Joe. All these questions are
You're
from
the
Joe.
Black Moon Child.
I'm the Black Moon Child.
I've always thought of you as a Black Moon Child,
But
and I've
this-
never said it until now.
It is signed by Brian from Patreon. Is Black Moon Child as well. So thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
you
Nice
so much.
question.
AKA
Yeah.
Joe.
Just send through the sexy ones. As per your tier, you are entitled to some sexy questions
Yep,
for Joe.
whatever tier you're in.
You
go
just
ahead.
paid the money.
Yep, that's what you get. Then we have one from Muted Campaign, which is how do you think if Benji had survived, would he have handled the palace and the inevitable meeting with the King in Yellow? So this is really for Dace. So if Benji had made it to the palace, man, what do you think would have happened, or what kind of things would Benji have been interested in when you got there?
Kind of depends.
Do you think the King in Yellow has a penchant for blues and boogie woogie?
You just
Can he
jump up.
fucking
There's
hang? Can he slam a pint of whiskey and get on stage with me and hang it and hold it down while I rip a sweet solo? Is he gonna play rhythm guitar while I'm just
You
up
think
there
it's gonna be like
fucking
that
ripping?
movie with what's his name? What's it called? Where he does a guitar off with the devil with Macchio in it. Ralph Macchio.
Oh, you're talking about Crossroads?
Crossroads, yeah.
Hell yeah!
I thought
That's
you
what it
were
would have
talking
been like.
about the
It would've been
Pick
like
of
Crossroads.
Destiny,
Crossroads.
which is
Yeah, I was also
That was
thinking
my
Pick of
first
Destiny.
thought, and then he said Ralph Macchio, and that's
Oh,
like, okay.
Oh, I forgot that happens. To get there.
Pick of Destiny. Is that your answer? Is you would jump up on stage and do a rad
And
guitar
challenge,
solo?
challenge him to a rock off for the kingdom.
I really think like some crazy shit would go like to get serious for a second, and I'm so serious right now.
Real
I'm
talk.
so grave, and if y'all would like to make some jokes, please refrain from doing so. 'cause
Okay,
I'm
just
being
for a
very
moment.
serious and earnest.
Very serious.
Just really think it might have contributed to our campaign that Benji died, so we could bring in a straight man, to elevate our podcast.
Thank you.
And we didn't have that before. Yeah. Until he came in.
Very emotional stuff.
God. Fuck it. Damn it. Next question.
Okay. All right, next question. So this is for this is for you guys. So this is specifically says that it says that from the players' perspectives. Why do they think their mission is to rescue Abby? All players seem to do that, but the mission to find the mission is to find if the unnatural is involved, destroy the evidence, and destroy the unnatural if possible. Rescuing Abby is unimportant to Delta Green. Delta Green doesn't save people; they hide the inevitable apocalypse. I understand friendlies being confused about their primary and secondary goals, but agents should know better. So, why do you think that people get fixated on Abigail? And this is probably more for probably a little more for Brad, I think, as Hank, because he is the one who.
I would
stay focused
argue-
on Abby.
I mean, we were all for DG in the Act 1. I mean, we were like, fuck this, burn down the apartments. End of story.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
And then I think it happened once we realized our handler was like not part of DG, that we were just like, oh fuck DG, we're kind of like on our own, and that's where it kind of came to be about Abigail more so.
Oh, with.
But I thought we were,
You're talking about when Barbas.
yeah,
turned out
with
not to be-
Barbas.
Yeah.
I think we were pretty solid DG agents for the first act.
I think you guys.
Well-
were-
We were pretty efficient. I mean, besides having trouble fighting a woman, I mean, we were just like, besides that, we were like, okay, this is like a the night floors are just like some alternate dimension. We can't do anything about that. Let's throw everybody in there and burn down the
Burn it
building.
down.
Like that's pretty solid DG agent work to me.
And you're like, and I've said it before, you guys, it was one of the most competent things you guys did in all of Impossible Landscapes was to because then you even get to, you don't even have to roll the sanity damage for murdering those people. You just throw their asses in the
We don't
night
have to
floors.
see it. We don't have to
have to
see them
see it.
die.
You don't have to
No.
see nothing.
They're behind a closed door.
You
Someone
throw
else
their
has to
asses
see
in
it.
the night floors. And
Folks,
fucking do it.
listeners, that is life advice. You need to kill somebody.
Don't see it.
You don't have to. You don't have to watch it.
Don't
You
watch
don't
it.
need those memories in your head.
I think
But I think
I think in general, I mean, most people, if other players do the same thing, they get fixated on Abby. I mean, that's the only thing that doesn't change besides Carcosa. I feel like the Yellow King keeps getting mentioned, so you could be like obsessive about finding out what that is, or the play. Carcosa keeps getting mentioned, and then Abby keeps getting mentioned, and then everything else is just like weird stuff, noise that just keeps shifting.
Yeah, well, I
To
think
me.
that too. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Jean has raised his hand. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm very polite like that. I like if you think of it from a storytelling perspective, it's a very good hook to come in and be like, you have to rescue Abigail. You have to figure out what the hell she did. There's this intriguing circumstances of her disappearance on this weird area. Go and find her. So it's an excellent hook. So for players to follow and get involved and get emotionally attached, very effective. But then beyond that, looking as you zoom out in the story, she keeps sending us messages to try and find her and to follow the thread. So it's almost like she is part of it and just bringing us closer and closer into Carcosa through the king's influence in some way. So,
Right.
it's a bit of a meta.
Isn't it? Dace, you have also raised your hand. It's very polite.
Do we think there's any chance that the King in Yellow is Elvis, and that's where he migrated to? Is Carcosa?
I like it. I like it a lot. Let's get away from the alien abduction thing and over to like Cthulhu and horror. I like it.
Do we think there's a chance that
He
when
is
we
the
come
king.
into the King in Yellow's party, it's
He
just
is
the
the
king
king. He
sitting
is the
down
He's the king.
on a piano, and he's like, on Elvis's last concert, or one of his last concerts, when he was sitting down at the piano and he plays Unchained Melody, and instead of like this mask, it's just fucking Elvis, and he's just like,
He's like all overweight and sweaty.
It's got a McDonald's
It's like his
or
last
Coca-Cola cup next to him. Whatever he had on the piano.
Car Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. Oh, John, I'm sorry to shit on your valid point.
But yeah.
It's my life.
Well, but I think that you're right because there is that is John's life. But I think that you guys are right because there is an element, and there's a reason that a lot of players do that. There's a lot of players focus on Abigail, which is that Abigail is the humanity of the situation. Like, and it's very human to just want to save someone, and you have a picture and a face, and this idea that she just kind of got caught up in it from the beginning. She's the first touchstone you guys had. I think it's the human thing to do, and Delta Green. Even the game itself and the organization within the game tries to strip humanity away from people. But you got players continuing and fuck all these people, let all the innocents die that have to die to control it one more day, to fend off the apocalypse one more day. It's like, yeah, but what about the humanity? And Abigail is the humanity in the story. And then to be chasing after her is very, very noble. Very noble, very human. My opinion. So that's kind of
So we're like noble players, and opposed to
If Finnegan had come on
psychopathic
board,
players.
he would not have given
dude, if
half a shit
Finnegan would
about
have been
Abigail.
here. Oh man.
I was literally, when Joe was saying that, I was literally thinking about how much more fun it is to play Finnegan than a good character.
God, Finnegan's great. All right, we have our next one. Thanks
I
for a
think
great
this one's
show.
for you, Joe.
Is this one for me?
I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks
for the great show. I have a
ahead.
question that is unrelated to Impossible Landscapes. In a grand campaign like Impossible Landscapes, it seems that it is possible, maybe hard, but possible, as you showed in the ending of your Impossible Landscapes campaign, to get that true Delta Green feeling that it was all for nothing and that nothing was really won. But how do you achieve this in a shorter format, like one-shotters? Seems harder, at least in my group, where we tend to end one-shotters with that feeling that, yeah, we won, which should obviously not happen in Delta Green. Appreciate any thoughts on the subject, and once again, thank you. Thanks, Miklum75.
That is a really good point, because even like, you know, at the end of Reverb, I don't know, like, well, Jean, at the end of Reverb, it did not feel like we won. It felt like we barely escaped with our lives,
despite
and
the
we
circus
achieved
act.
nothing. Right. So that was like, I don't know, I guess it comes down to desperation. Like, to desperation, and you know what I would say? It's like, if at the end of your operation, if the bad thing is dead, you messed up. Yeah, that's not like, if you're going for that feeling of, we just bought humanity one more day, but damn it, there's going to be something else behind it, like, then the bad thing shouldn't be necessarily dead, and if it is, it's only one of a countless number of bad things, right? Like, that's how you do that. Like, it's, the bad thing can't just be in the fucking ground, you know. It's Gabby and I were recently watching some playthroughs of all the Resident Evil games, and I think the end of most of the games is very much like that. It's like, yeah, you kind of dealt with this, you dealt with Raccoon City, but it kind of doesn't fucking matter because it's already spread to somewhere else. Like, it's just like, so yeah, you're alive, but everyone else is dead, you know, kind of thing. So it's like, there is, I don't know, it's
because you don't want to. Yeah, I mean, the first gut reaction would be like, be harder, kill more of your players, but that wouldn't necessarily be the same thing as, or, you know, be tougher on the players as far as like physical damage and stuff like that. But yeah, I think what you said is a better mix if they don't quite destroy whatever the incursion is.
Can I say something that sounds really insightful, but is actually really stupid?
No.
Pass.
Treat sanity like skating on ice. When you start off, you're standing, and then as the campaign progresses, you launch out a little bit, and then suddenly you're sliding on ice. But every single DG campaign at the end is like ramped up so hard, at least the good ones. You're slipping on ice, and you're falling, and you're bracing for the fall. And like, that's how sanity should be ramped up, in my opinion. Once again, sounds really insightful.
No, that was actually pretty insightful.
No, there's something good there, because it's, if you don't hit sanity, and to go into what Brad said as well, if you don't use kid gloves with sanity, it becomes a method of increasing tension at the end, right? To the point where even if the big weird thing from the other side of the universe is now technically dead, well, now also your wife is going to divorce you and you lost your fucking job, and now all you have is Delta Green. Which just means,
and that's the prologue that we all crave.
Right, and that's also its own kind of story. It's a story of defeat, you know, or maybe not defeat, but victory at all cost.
One last point. There's a nice talk by Kurt Vonnegut on storyline shapes and story shapes, and I think the way that you construct that inevitable feeling of listlessness, or it didn't really matter despite the characters' victories, is about that storyline shape that you choose. It's maybe some kind of exciting ramp up, ramp down, and I think Alex did this beautifully with our campaign as well, with his campaign. But like, the storyline shape is what gets you that emotive ending. And if you end too high, then it's like yay, it was a story about overcoming. But actually, the Delta Green stories are a little flatter, despite those little hills in between, and it has to end on like despite the overcoming everything, it was for naught. And that's hard. I think it kind of happened. I didn't think about this running Reverb, but it kind of happened organically through the good writing of the campaign itself. But maybe just try and follow those. Try and have an idea in mind of what that storyline shape looks like, and the emotional beats.
Yeah, to not end on too high of a
I think
high.
this is not a joke. The last time you said something serious, I came with this is not a joke. But the whole Sunny arc at the end of Impossible Landscapes, that is like something that Delta Green can only do. That and like Grimdark,
The whole what arc?
content.
Sunshine.
Oh, Sunshine arc. Yeah.
Yeah. Like when you come out kind of medium and then you dip way below, but it's still like thematically relevant. Like
Yeah.
it makes sense and it feels bad, but it feels good because it feels true.
You know,
I love that little twist. I want to say one more thing before we go on. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Also, what was this guy's name or person's name?
this
Joe's
was.
like
I'm sorry. Sorry, this was
blacking
Mifflin.
out any of the questions. There's only one shot.
Yeah,
He's
He's not letting
redacting,
us-
he's redacting
this
records
as
as we're
information.
talking.
This is Mickloon.
I would also
Micklin?
tell McLoon maybe he shouldn't be hard on himself because if they're saying we won, it sounds like they're having fun at least.
True.
Yeah.
you know,
have
It
some
does
fun.
kind of go
There's
to the
a-
why are we here, which is to have fun.
yeah. That
That
could
is
end up
so-
a lot worse.
Valid. We're like so like honed in on DG stuff. Yeah, as long as your players are having
Yeah.
fun. Like
Well, and how about this? Like, so I didn't. I had told you guys I think I'd mentioned it on the podcast as well that I had gotten some folks that I know around here, and we gotten together and I ran them through Last Things Last, which is like the short intro scenario for Delta Green. Which is if anyone. What is? Oh my God, Clyde Bowman. Like, if you know the story of Clyde Bowman from Delta Green, like it's that little operation about Clyde Bowman. And I ran them through that. And so spoilers for Last Things Last, which is which is at the end of the need to know guide.
Can we opt out of this?
Maybe not.
Can you opt out? So basically what ends up happening at the end, so I'm not going to say about what happens at Last Things Last. Okay, but I will say
That's
this.
what I'm saying.
So here's how it ended up happening. They ended up the thing that they were the incursion that they were supposed to deal with didn't get dealt with even a fucking little bit. Not even a tiny little bit. Like the entity escaped their grasp. The thing at its core went away and like just is gone. But the funny thing is they never once contacted their handler to tell them what was going on. So when they go back for the debrief and the guy's like, yeah, so how'd the mission go? They're like, good. It went great. And they just lied. Which is fucking hilarious. Right? And it's like, and they were hemming and hawing. They're like, oh my God, like we just let this thing out. This is a big problem. But if we tell them, they're gonna fucking kill us. Like,
so you didn't play with kid gloves whatsoever. You're just like, I'm gonna let these fuckers go wild. And
Yeah.
whatever happens, happens.
and they fucked it. Now they had some really bad luck.
They fucked it.
They just fucked it.
They fucked it.
Whoa.
But the thing is like for anyone who's done Last Thing Last, like it's very easy to fuck it. Like it's meant to be very tense and just the way it's written and stuff like that. And so like they didn't do anything wrong per se. Like it wasn't like that. But just and again they also did have a really, really unfortunate run of luck right at the end. But like their characters got really jacked up. They elected to just lie about it at the end. And after everything they had just done, they're like, oh my God, like this thing is still out there. And they definitely left the table with that feeling. They were like, oh my God, that was so much fun. What have we done? And that was perfect. That was the intent.
What have we done?
Joe, that's what we're gonna do from now on.
Just let the thing go.
No, that's what we're gonna tell DG. Just lie if it's not good news.
Yeah, it's contained.
So
Situation contained.
So again, like about your question, like to deal with that, Milkoon is like, yeah, it's like it doesn't have to end. The missions, this isn't D&D. You don't have to beat the big bad. Sometimes the big bad gets away. Sometimes the thing comes back later at a different operation and fucks with them again. Like, who knows, right? So, but that's a good question. That's a really good question. I really like that one.
Let me step away 1 second. Y'all do banner before you read the next question.
Oh,
Let's
God
just
damn it.
Should we
Don't
should we
fuck
take
with
a break?
get through all those questions right now while he's out.
Should we take a break?
Do you want to take a break real quick?
All right. This is a good little cut.
Yeah, I feel like I've been recording for a little bit.
Keep the recording going.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Come back. Come back quick.
Don't leave, please.
Don't dally.
just doesn't come back. Well, this is gonna be
man.
awkward
How you doing,
to
John?
edit.
Ah, it happens.
Okay. Or we just keep it in.
Huh.
Just like, no, shoot the shit.
We'll just keep this. Just the special Jean and Joe bits.
Yeah.
Well, this just
release
becomes
it
a
as its
running
own episode.
on our other podcast. Me and
No,
you,
no.
Jean.
On this one.
Just to the side. Like, the thing is, because you know what we know, Jean? We know that Dace and Brad don't fucking listen back.
It's true.
To
It's true.
goddamn
They'll
anything.
never know. It's the perfect crime.
It's the perfect crime. And if there's anyone who knows about perfect crimes,
It's this
it's
guy.
Sean.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I saw we've got a good deal of questions, and we can probably.
Yeah,
I want to be mindful of like our own pacing of this, but I'm really
Right,
loving
yeah.
this.
Well, that one did grab a bunch of our time. Dace went to go pee or something. So
Oh, what the fuck?
yeah.
What the fuck?
There was a Skittles bag here that used to have Skittles in it, but then I went to touch it and it still has a Skittle.
The last Skittle, which is probably not rat Skittle.
Oh no, that's mostly poop.
Oh,
That's mostly poop.
that crunch is all wrong.
Synthetic.
Isn't there like going to be like an Amazon show that with the newer Blade Runner stuff, or has that already happened?
I don't know about that. I keep seeing a fucking thing for Alien. I haven't heard about a Blade Runner series.
Yeah. I'm gonna drop these. I'm gonna drop these pictures in the Discord. These are from Gabby and I's. This is the river we swam in when we were over at we were down at the Redwoods. It's fucking incredible.
Oh. Clear. Is it cold?
Oh, it was warm. It was very pleasant. There was a
Nice.
we saw crawfish that I'm not kidding were like fucking 8 inches long. They were basically lobsters.
Supposedly they taste worse the bigger they are.
Where the fuck did Jean go?
Oh, Sean's
I
gone.
know he can
Did you
hear
see
me.
any other campers
Son
in
of
the
a
area?
bitch.
Or are you
Oh yeah,
secluded?
we were at like a pretty busy like campsite. It was good though.
Were y'all doing tent camping?
Yeah, we just took a tent. We got this. So this we weren't exactly roughing it. We have this. We got a tent. We got an 8-person tent that was big enough for us to blow up a queen size mattress and have all 4 dogs.
What do they call it? Glamping? Or glamping?
Glamping. Yeah.
No, that's not even glamping.
I know,
That's
I'm
like
joking.
just the way to do it. How dare you joke, Brad? This is not.
No
this is
joking.
not the time for jokes.
Okay. Anyway, back to questions. All right.
All right, back to
so
We're keeping
next,
all of that.
We have.
We're keeping all of that
We're
in,
keeping all of that.
or at least like
So our
an AI
next
summary.
question, an AI summary of everything that just happened.
Spawn of Santa.
Spawn of Santa. Yes, Spawn of Santa has asked. It said, I haven't finished your run through yet. I assume they're talking about Impossible Landscapes, but I'm
Oh,
fascinated to
invalid.
know.
Next question.
Yeah, so
We will answer your question when you finish.
cut him
Get
some
back to us.
slack, John. Jeez. He's vicious. I'm fascinated to know what you think Abby's objectives were. Read through the campaign a few times, still have not figured it out. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I would love to know that answer, honestly.
I think it's just a good fucking wild, man. She's an artist. She just wants to go
Yeah.
deeper.
But
I
she
think it's
seems. She was a visual artist, right?
Yeah, she's a painter.
I really think it's just that. I don't.
So there are
You know-
some vague allusions made to her kind of being like the bride of the king in yellow. So there's this weird, like she's one of a million. or one of millions of millions. It just happens to have this. I don't know. There's something about her, but I will tell you. So think about it this way though. J.C. Lenz is the author. J.C. Lenz needs his bottle in order to get the inspiration to write The King in Yellow, because The King in Yellow must be written, and J.C. Lenz must write it. But J.C. Lenz needs his bottle, and who has to bring him his bottle? You guys had to bring him his bottle. So how do you guys come into the Night World? From tracking down Abigail. So Abigail is all just a part of what it takes to justify the writing of the book, of the play, so the play can write everything else.
In a way, Abigail's his muse.
Yeah, in a way.
I would say, like, we're talking about collaborating with RPG reanimators on possible landscapes at one point. And if I were to point a critical finger at this campaign, it would be like, flesh out Abigail more. She's not... Okay, so let me... if I were to ask all three of you, what is Abigail's personality? Like, what can you tell me about Abigail?
She's
You
ephemeral.
have no way of know.
Yeah, she's totally
Yeah.
this ghosty little creature outside of your periphery, just over the horizon.
Well, and maybe that's what she's supposed
And
to.
maybe that's all it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just thinking in terms of, like, if it were like an... And, I have so many writing credits to my name.
Right,
And
of course.
I'm
Very
qualified to
accomplished.
answer this question.
Very accomplished.
But if it were like True Detective Season 1, like, you would just want to flesh out that character, like, quite a bit
Yeah.
to make... does that make any sense?
Well,
Am I just like...
Well, I think there is a way you could have gone to do that, but I think it would have lost that she's just always beyond your fingertips kind of thing. Like, I think it would have lost that quality if she was too known in a way.
Yeah, maybe.
I gotta disagree. I think she could have a personality and still be 2 steps ahead of you.
Now there is I will say this actually. There was in the book, one of the people, do you guys remember hearing about Abigail Wright's father in the very first season?
Yep.
Yeah,
Her
I do.
father was looking
They
all
both
this
went
stuff
into
down.
the bookstore, right?
They
and I
both
was a
go
cop,
into
right?
the bookstore together, and that's where she gets the book. One of the characters, there are recommendations like, hey, if you lose a character, if a character goes insane, a character dies, you know who's a really good replacement character? Abigail Wright's dad. Like,
Really?
he's a cop, he's already on the case, like, he's already has a reason to be interested. You could use her dad. And so and there's even at the very, very end, when you see her at the ball, it's like if Abigail Wright's father is there and sees her, he takes a significant amount of sanity damage by finding out that she will not come with, because it's his daughter. So like, there is that specific instance of like that character. Her father could have fleshed Abigail out more, but that would have been a something that happened at the table, not in the book.
True, yeah.
I get what you're saying though, right?
It's a good question.
I don't know. Like,
It's
I
a
think,
really great question.
I think that in the grand scheme of the story, you do kind of get into the whole everyone's playing their part, and Abigail, even if she is in some way the bride of the king, still playing a part, and that's her part. Her part is to get you hooked. So yeah,
She is the worm.
yeah.
So,
We have
but
fish.
Joe? What do you think from her perspective? What is she doing there? She's just another
She just gets
person, and that's enticed by the King in Yellow and is just like gripped
She
by
gets
it. Just like
drawn in and is
it's just like any
enthralled
other
by it.
artist, and she just now. Okay.
Yeah, and and if you ask her anything at the ball, it specifically says that she knows everything, everything you could possibly ask. She knows the answer to.
Wow.
So now she's omnipotent. Like, what happened? What's different about her? So there is something different, right? But it doesn't really go into
Because
what it
every other
is.
person there is not omnipotent, right?
They're just kind of along for the ride. But no, she knows exactly how weird it is. She knows everything you've been through. She knows all the sacrifices you've made. She knows that her father misses her and she misses him too and stuff like that. So she's still herself, and she's kind of beyond that too. So
Yeah, that's cool because Joe, you also
Truly.
played her as almost very understanding and compassionate at the end, and almost apologetic and almost like
yeah,
touched by the fact that everybody got here. But then at the same time, she was almost playing a part. That was
right.
part of
Well,
it.
and there's something about, like, she has some relationship with the court, with the royal family,
The
with
devil?
Casilda,
Oh,
and all that stuff. So, but yeah. So we have another question here from an Earthian. I think I'm saying that
Nerthian?
right.
And Earth.
So the first one I'll answer. Joe, what was your favorite callback moment? When you could bring back something that the guys had done earlier, or even something. Wait a second, I gotta read that. Joe, what was your favorite callback moment when you could bring up something that the guys had done earlier, or even something they would do? I mean, it has to be Sunshine.
yeah. That was my favorite.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like,
That was
great.
crazy.
Gave me chills.
It
I did not
was-
see that coming.
yeah, that was a good one.
Was
God, I
that
just don't know
something
if anything else?
that we did specifically though? Was that
He said in the book that there was the option
Yeah,
that someone could end up as Sunshine.
right.
And then
Yeah,
when
that
Hank
was always
asked
written in
the
things.
dude randomly, and I was just like poking Joe to
Yeah.
kind of like a gotcha. I was like, so what's the final scene act in the scene, dude? And he shows that scene, and then it comes full circle.
Like I said, I couldn't have predicted what was going to happen at the palace, but I'm glad that Hank fucked around and found out, because I got to do it to Hank, right? But there's no way to know that was
Yeah.
going to happen.
yeah.
So I have an answer for you, which was my personal favorite callback they did, which was the shock group,
Oh, the static team.
Static team.
Static.
the static team.
Oh,
That episode before we
So
launched into the
good.
that was and like since we finished this, I've listened to GCP's playthrough of this, and like these are folks that are in the module,
Yeah, absolutely.
right?
Yeah, all of them. Yeah, Carter and Burbach and Virgil, who shows up at the end. Virgil Griffith.
I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah.
I that was, man, it's hard to rank, but it's definitely one of my favorite episodes in the entire campaign.
That
it
was
just
fun.
fantastic.
I mean, that was a textbook. How do you do a literal one shot?
Yeah,
Because that was one
Yeah.
episode.
yeah. It was one session.
It
one
was
recording
absolute
session, yeah.
horror, like at its greatest. Like when you guys started carving off your faces, and then my character was like, "Oh, it was
Like that would be
fantastic.
like a great one shot, even if you had no reference to anything King in Yellow.
Right.
Like you know,
Yeah, I
it's-
like
it's
that.
good. I enjoyed
I
that
like
so
that.
much.
That
That would
was
have been a great
callback
prologue.
choice.
also would have been
so-
a great prologue. But I feel like we
Right.
had to get warmed up
Yeah.
to be able to play that as well as we did, and like you know
true.
go with the flow and stuff.
True.
So
Yeah,
next
I
question.
said it before, but
Go ahead.
you, you, Brad, and John played your characters so fucking well in that campaign, or in that little two shot.
Yeah.
I just,
Dude, even
it was
June.
really good.
June, like the way you played June was so good. I loved your pick of like Jodie Foster, like Hispanic Jodie Foster, like to play this character, just like this hard ass, like who's just like ready to go. It was so good.
Well, I appreciate that. I didn't do my homework, but thank you for handling that.
Yeah.
That was really great.
Well, Dace, the next question's for you. Dace,
Oh,
I know
fuck.
you didn't have to close. I know you didn't have close to the same time between Busiak and Benji. But did you think that Busiak filled the shoes of Benji when he came to the game? Did you want to flesh him out more before the finale? That's a good question. That's like some character building stuff.
No, he definitely didn't fill the shoes of Benji. Man, that's a hard question. I really didn't put much thought into like how he was gonna fill Benji's shoes or interact with the party. It was just like, what do I want to play?
Yeah. Well,
And I wanted so like one of the very frustrating things playing Benji was like he doesn't have a lot of knowledge that I would have, such as the capacity to wield an angle grinder.
angle grinder. Yes.
And that was honestly like possibly the gestation of Busia. It's just like I want to play a DG character that is competent and capable and that knows how to, get shit done. And then I started brainstorming out and then I just happened to hear a podcast where this famous writer, and he's got a New York accent, and it just culminated into all that. It's just a happenstance.
Well, and something that we had talked about
I love
too
Busia.
is that I don't think, as opposed to something like playing Pathfinder or or D&D, I think that if you're playing a Delta Green game and if you're really going out of your way to get the perfect party composition for Delta Green, I don't think that's the way to play it. I think you should play with the motherfucking agents that you get given, the ones that you have, and that means you're going to have big gaps of skills that you're just not going to have, because once Benji was gone, you guys were fucked for occult stuff.
Yeah.
You didn't know nothing anymore, which was a problem in a lot of ways. But at the same time, obviously Busiak was the leader and the hero that the party
Busiak,
needed.
such a
time
hero.
and time
They just
again.
they kept
He was so
searching.
heroic.
He was the best.
So god.
Next
damn
question.
Brad, could you chime in on
Next
how much of a hero that Busiak was?
Generic name 01. Have you seen it? Just joking.
No, go for it.
My question for Joe is with the sheer amount of source material for Impossible Landscapes, are there any moments that you wish the guys would have ended up in or navigated towards, but it didn't quite happen? / how did you go about choosing what information / set pieces to drip feed to your players for story progression when there's so much at your disposal?
I think that you guys, I will say that I think that chapter 2 is the richest for getting the idea of the scale of the King in Yellow infection. And you guys, I dangled Vegas in front of you guys, and you guys fucking ran with it. I couldn't have been happier.
You want us to go to Vegas? So what was at Vegas? This is
that was
the
Citri's
house. Citri's house.
That was Citri's house and all that shit, which was just great fun. Just a really fun time. It was really good, and you guys learned a lot. And that's where we got Axel in the Axelverse. So now we get to live in the Axelverse,
Which is my second favorite callback that you've done. That whole arc would not have happened. I mean, you didn't have Axel before that, right?
No.
When we went out into the desert, that was the genesis of Axel.
Yeah. And then him coming back as a Delta Green agent, tracking you guys, that was obviously, just kind of a spur of the moment, off the cuff thing. I would say there was one thing that I think that you guys missed, which I think might have led the entire operation in a very different direction, because it almost certainly would have killed one or maybe two of you. And that was the ambush.
I'm all ears.
And that was the ambush at the mall. When that was the meeting that you guys were like, meh, this is a trap.
Okay.
Wait, after we offed
you guys give Citri to Delta Green, and you guys head back to Boston, right?
Uh-huh.
And then after that, it was and then that's where you got the little side scene where Marcus gets killed and stuff like that. But you guys had already decided and the only reason I showed you guys that scene, thematically, was because you guys had already made it very clear. We're pretty sure Delta Green wants to kill us now. Otherwise I wouldn't have shown you that.
So that's in the book. If you kill Marbus.
No, it's not
Delta
about
Green's-
Marbus. It's about if you let Delta Green know that you have fucked with the King in Yellow. If they get a whiff that you have come into contact with the King in Yellow, there are very old machines within the Delta Green mechanism that get turned on and are like, uh-oh, these guys have been exposed. They need to be cleaned. Right?
And what was it that because of Citri?
Because you guys gave Citri to Delta Green to interrogate
Okay.
her.
And then that's why they think or slash
And
no.
then that ends up getting Marcus killed, and that's when they start coming after you guys. So there was all these different things that could have happened. Like these different teams could have come out and tried to capture you guys, but there was this mall ambush where I think I had mentioned it in the debrief for the static episodes. In the sanity check where we had the static episodes, I had mentioned that June was actually, I think her name is Maisel, Louise Maisel, is actually one of those people from the ambush scene, along with the other team member who's killed, whose name is Darius, I think. So you guys missed out on that, and that was a very intense combat situation where while you're there, there's also, because guess what, the mall is also corrupted by the King in Yellow, but the Delta Green agents who are setting the ambush, they don't know that, so they're trying to kill you. But then there's a fucking dancing clown that's fucking killing people.
Oh no.
Jeez.
And shit. So it's a whole thing.
I'm glad we skipped that.
The King in Yellow.
Yeah, so it was a whole thing, and it goes back to like Henry Lundeen and all this stuff. Like there's everything's tied in other things. That's the one thing that you guys kind of missed out on. You guys ran the gambit. The only other thing only other set piece that I think would have been interesting was if you guys had gone to the drowning room, which is where
was that at?
Oh.
the drowning room is in the night floors. That is the other side of the mirror where Lewis Post watches Asa Darabandi drown children.
Okay.
What would that have looked like, Joe?
Yeah.
It would have looked like you guys fucking being killed by Asa Darabandi.
Oof.
So we would have been the kids being drowned?
Yeah, why not? Yes is the answer. Yes, it's like literally it says in there, it's like anyone who goes up and like touches Darabandi suddenly finds themselves face down in the water and drowning. Like, so yeah. So
Nice.
so second part of the question from generic Nemo 1. For Brad, Dash, and Gian, do you feel that your characters lived up to your own expectations of them by the time the end had come? Or do you feel like decisions or choices you made throughout the game made you perceive them differently from when you first created them? So, like, what was the end version of that character, and how was it different from the beginning version of that character?
I felt like Benedict evolved a lot as a character just by happenstance. I don't think I had many expectations, and he just became something that was beyond what I imagined, and not necessarily in a good way. He just became more self-absorbed, kind of more attached to the team, and more protective and more skittish. And maybe he became a little bit less goofy and more, scared along the way. But I liked how it kind of played out beyond. It pretty much played out beyond all the decisions, or despite the decisions that we made. It kind of shaped him into that. So, I don't know, it's a little tough because I think I didn't come in with much expectations, except for being a little goofy and adding some monster trucks to the mix. But I think it came out really well, and I just loved playing that character. It was fun.
Yeah.
I would say about Benedict, the fact that you just continually kept burning bonds and making bonds with the team, that really informed a lot of your character.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
In a good way.
Yeah.
In a realistic way, I think.
What about y'all?
What are you, Brad?
Do you feel like that your character lived up to your own expectations of them by the time the end
How
had
they
come?
changed
So,
from beginning to end.
yeah, I'm just rereading. Or did you feel like your decisions / choices throughout the game made your perception? So they definitely changed. I mean, I think the first, some of his bonds, aside from the funny shenanigans were his sons, and then his sons went away. So basically, he didn't have any connection with the outside besides, I think the only bond he had was like the secretary that whatever he had a crush on or something, besides the team. And I tried to lean in also. I think he got paranoia at some point.
Right.
So that changed him a little bit. But yeah, he definitely changed because I don't think he would just like straight up kill someone at the beginning. But obviously by the end, he's willing to kill someone for the quote unquote greater good, or what he sees would be a better outcome.
Yeah.
So just like his capacity to like take human life, honestly, probably was the biggest change for Hank.
Well, think about how close Hank literally died, and then after he literally died at the beginning of the running gunfight to the Broad Albin, then he almost dies and has to be magically healed by the demon that fucking Benji gets for him, right?
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean, by the time we get to the night floors, like I said, I think Hank knows this is the end.
Right.
No, sorry, not the night floors. By the time he gets to Carcosa, he's like, he doesn't really think he's
no going
coming back. Yeah.
And I think that is like a legitimate character development of like, no, like I'm gonna take care of my team as long as I can. Who cares what happens to me? At some point. I don't know. What about for Busiak? How do you feel? Do you feel like Busiak lived up to your expectations there at the end?
Well, so here's a little peek behind the screen. Joe usually shares the module with me,
right?
And then that way I can sort of tailor my character to what we're doing.
Yeah, power game.
Except we know that Dace never reads the whole thing, so it's actually a safe play.
well, that's the problem. Is I shared it, but he didn't actually look at the message.
He actually can't
I
read.
sent it.
My problem is I don't know how to read, but despite that fact, I think Busiak really nailed his arc.
Yeah.
No, to be completely honest, I feel great about Benji's arc. He started as a goofy character with a goofy voice, and then he got serious, and I think his death scene was perfect. I fucking love that. I know I would recommend that people listen to it simultaneously with T-Model Ford's Sail On.
Yeah.
It's great. And then the introduction of Busiak, I loved it. I didn't expect him to be that much of a hero.
Just such a hero.
I know.
Such a hero.
I know we joke about it a lot, but he actually
it was pretty cool.
a lot of heroic moments. And I did not intend that. Like, I thought he was going to be more selfish.
So that was what I was modeling Jack
he was just
after.
a joy to play.
I thought I would do a Busiak, but try to lean into being Busiak, and he just gets exploded.
It turns out that that if you want it, you can't make it happen.
Yeah,
Like,
you have to be Busiak. You have to be Dace.
So the last thing that this person said, that generic name one said, Benji is quite possible my favorite TTRPG character of all time. Chef's Kiss Dace.
All right, so we know who that is. We
So
know
that's
generic
Dace.
Name 01.
That's my mom. That's my mom.
It's your mom.
God damn it, Mom.
Ellen, get out of
Stop
here.
writing in. Get out of here, Ellen. Jesus Christ.
She doesn't know how to use emojis. That's not her.
She's
Probably not.
embarrassing me in front of my friends. Man, I'm
was
so
a good
fucking
character,
embarrassed
though.
right now.
This is a bit of this is a bit of a short one. IC Local 1371 said, "Will you guys release the sanity report or the end mission debrief for non-Patreon members?"
Or $1 million.
Well, end of the day, we do need. I do
$1
want to keep our
million?
$1 million. I would like to keep our Patreon stuff, Patreon exclusive for a reason, because otherwise, why? We want to give something to our patrons. So unfortunately, maybe in the future, maybe in the future. Well, we're gonna talk about it. Jean was pushing hard, and he's picketing outside my house to release it to the public, which I thought was weird because he was on a different continent. But nonetheless,
It is especially weird because of that. I don't know why my face got there.
that's probably the weirdest thing. I was like, wait, that's just
It's a
someone.
$5 ticket.
That's just someone
like
wearing
$2,000
Jean's face. Like, what is?
But I see local.
It's also high dollar.
Just it's like a coffee. If you want a coffee for all this entertainment, go grab it and then listen to it. If you like it, stay. If you don't,
Yeah, very true. You don't have to
come
stay.
and pick it outside your house, too.
Or someone will wearing John's
Someone
face.
with John's face will.
Fry's good buddy.
Is that the teaser trailer for the entire like? Is this John just going like, if you like it, it's okay. If you don't fucking worry about it.
Listen, I think
We're all just humans. It'll be whatever.
Blah. Michael Bay, bruh. So this is from Fry's good buddy. A question for the players: Are there any avenues of investigation you wish you'd followed up on?
I wish I found out more about Charlie. I really.
Did you find out more about Charlie?
I wanted to make friends with him, and also the dude at the oh god, what's his name? The guy at the front desk.
Oh, Elmer Lawson.
Elmer Lawson.
Elmer
I
Lawson,
wanted to
yes.
kill Elmer Lawson.
Honestly, that's a good call, John.
Do you
I
want
would
me? Okay,
like to
Jean.
know more
How about
about him.
this, Jean? Do you want me to tell you about Elmer Lawson right now?
No,
Yeah.
I
Here's
think
the
it has to
thing,
be
I don't even need the damn book
No.
because Elmer
It has to be
Lawson's
an
fucking
epilogue.
story is bonkers.
Okay, this is behind a paywall. We're going to Patreon.
So,
Sorry,
Dave,
folks.
This is the person. This is the person they fleshed out was Elmer Lawson, not Abigail Wright. All that.
Yeah, they fleshed
Elmer
out.
Lawson.
Well, it's not that they fleshed him out as a character. So Elmer Lawson is a so again, keep in mind the only way to get the Broad Albin is to be on the run, right? So Elmer Lawson is like he is like abandoned as a child, and it kind of goes into like the idea that he's like born in like 1910 or something like that, and has this like really rough childhood, and eventually literally runs off to join the circus. But then discovers that his mother is in a circus, and then he begins to have an incestuous relationship with his mother, and then they are on the run from authorities because they're being pursued, and they end up, and by the way, you can meet his mother in the basements of the hotel.
Why is she in the basement?
Nasty.
Oh, weird.
Because
He can't even get a room for her?
because she's living with him.
Oh god.
Nasty.
Yeah, it's fucking wild.
You know what?
Why
I
do you think
retract.
they add that just to make him like weirder and creepier?
Well,
Or-
I think it was because like there is this idea of this like of everything being linked to everything else. So at some point in time, he's exposed to the King in Yellow for some other way. I can't quite recall, but yeah. So Elmer Lawson does have a little bit of more building. To
I regret my answer.
Why did you choose to play him so straight?
You guys never asked him like, "Hey Elmer, what are you into?" He's like, "My mom."
Hey,
Mama.
my mom.
Oh, man.
all right. Question for Joe.
What you getting into tonight, Elmer?
Question for Joe from Fry's good buddy. Are there any Bond scenes you had prepped that you wished you have gotten to? You could have gotten to.
Not particularly. Like there were, there was another way out of the palace that involved the tarot card reader, Lady Triumphi, I believe. Is her
Oh
name.
yeah.
Which you guys had all run into in one way or another. Hank ran into her at a police funeral. Benedict ran into her outside of a nightclub, and I think Busiek ran into her, or if he hadn't.
Oh damn, that's a big callback. I forgot all about
Right,
that.
yeah. But anyway, so
Wait,
like
was
there was kind of that. Maybe Busiek didn't have one with her. Maybe I was intending there would be one. I never got around to it. But anyway, so like there was like that. I think that as far as Bond stuff, I don't know. I think that the only thing we ever heard about Benedict's brother was him deflecting sanity on him. I thought it might have been a little more interesting to find out a little bit more about the brother. But, it might not also not have been that. So,
I guess we
so
don't
the
really
last
do
one.
those Bond scenes as much, or home scenes. We don't play with that mechanic too
Yeah,
much.
that's what I was going to say.
It's just tough.
Well, but also,
Like-
there was only one time where you guys had home scenes, and that was between seasons 1 and 2. And after that, it was a sprint. Like, chronologically. It's just like, it's all one story now. So there just wasn't an opportunity to.
I do feel like it can sometimes ground the game to a halt. The home scenes.
Especially with us. We can't even get out any doors.
Well, I guess
Especially
it's
with
to
us.
like further the sanity loss mechanic, right?
It's to make sanity more, and I think if you are,
And I'm wondering, how do you fit that in? Because I was reading somewhere that supposedly an average DG campaign in DG time is like a week.
a lot of times, yeah. Well, it's because it would sort of be in between them. I mean, it's like, you know, you're not on Delta Green operations every week. You're on Delta Green operations once a year, once every 2 years or something for some people.
Mhm.
I don't know, like not specific. To answer your question,
Well-
Fries, good buddy, like nothing specific. I don't think so. Maybe some.
Well,
other
I've got a
side
question
things.
for the whole board. When's the first time you had sex?
Mm-hmm.
We said no sexy questions for this, so that's going to be on the other Patreon tier. So
Oh, fuck, I forgot.
yeah. So question. So one last one for Fries, good buddy. So question for all. And he did say this might have been answered in the sanity check. I don't recall, but this might just be another good opportunity for us to talk about this. For those who didn't listen to the sanity check, what was your favorite scene of the campaign? And I've got two immediately, like my two favorite scenes. One was the scene where Benji breaks and shoots Barbas.
That's a
And
good
like
one.
just the intensity of that scene, and like to me that's where the entire campaign went from being a little funny to pretty serious.
Yeah.
like that was the moment
Yeah.
where
That's
where
gotta be the
Benji
best one for
cracked.
a lot of people.
Yeah,
I mean, now that you mentioned it, that's probably my favorite, but I'll try to think of another one.
but I will say that my second one is probably just all the Static Team stuff, man. Like those two Static episodes, they're just good episodes. I enjoyed writing it. I enjoyed running it. They were great. You guys did
Okay, so
fantastically.
my top three overlap heavily with your top three. I was also going to say the Marva scene, and I was also going to say the Static scene. But I think that scene when we were like, where was it? It was in between like Lake Holly and Carcosa when the team encountered like this people
Oh,
that were just like
the survivors.
disenfranchised.
Right, like the survivors.
survivors.
There, yeah.
And the team actually got a chance to help people.
Right,
No, we
And,
were
like,
in
you know,
Carcosa
heal
proper
people.
when that happened.
yeah. You guys
Were
were
we?
like you guys
Yeah.
were in the war zone.
Yeah.
like
We were
they
trying to
because
help.
it was because they then took you to the no man's land.
Yeah. It was just like the refugees, and
Yeah.
they sent one of their children with
Yes.
us. We gave a gun.
Send him back with a
Obviously,
gun.
we gave him a gun.
Right. No, but it was a very human moment because they were just suffering.
Yeah,
and you guys
I thought
did
it was
the best
really
you
good.
could. Yeah.
Like, that was one of the most human moments that we've had. It was one of the few times where you get to feel like a hero. You know, there's no gray in that situation. You're just like doing good.
Yeah. You
That
did
was
the best you could.
really interesting.
And it might not, and to echo a question we had earlier, it might not mean anything in the end to help these people. An artillery shell might fall on them in 5 minutes. But the fact
Yeah,
is that you
totally.
guys helped them when you could. And
It's
they
a
helped,
rare thing in Delta Green
Right,
is
and-
just to like help somebody.
and they returned the favor the best they could. You know?
They
Well,
gave us a teenager, and
to
then we
show
gave
you the
him
way.
a gun.
What about you, Jean? What's your go-to?
I think those ones, yeah, I don't know, those are the highlights. I just get these flickers every now and then, and these memories of some of the other ones. But those are probably part of my favorites. The others were like creepy moments, like very creepy moments, like realizing that the Static Team will keep
Yeah.
coming. That was like oh fuck. Like that was great. I enjoyed that part. And then something pretty mundane, but like we went to the hotel room and there was just that box that kind of dropped from the ceiling and there was water sloshing in the room next door. I was like, oh, I don't feel safe. It was all those kind of scenes where everything was going very, very weird and there was no way to get out of it. They were just like, okay,
Right.
just grin and bear. So I keep getting
Yeah.
flashbacks to some of those scenes as well, beyond like the big plot beat and other subtle moments.
Right.
Good one, because like little time loop things is when you had, I forgot who it was, in a top hat and cape run past us in the insane asylum, and then open a door and then accost Abigail Wright.
Yeah, that
in the
was Lundeen.
past
That was
Lundeen.
old Henry Lundeen. Yeah.
Yeah, was a good one. And then just speaking of that, where we're in the fucking counseling circle, and like
Encounter
things
group.
turn dark.
The encounter group was a good one. Oh, and I don't think I ever told you guys, like,
Not the encounter group. I'm talking about when we're in the mental health
end.
facility.
oh yeah, yes.
The encounter group is also really good, though.
Yeah.
That actually, I'm gonna knock one of mine down and say that the encounter group is in the top 3 for me.
The one with you're talking about the one when you guys were patients,
Inmates
quote,
or
unquote,
what-
with,
yeah,
with
patients.
Dr. Friend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. I really enjoyed how that went.
One
Okay,
last
so
one.
we got
action
one
scene.
last-
Action scene wise.
Yeah,
Quick one. Rapid fire. What was
Okay.
your best action
Okay.
scene for
Okay.
everyone?
best action scene.
John's like,
Yeah, I'm adding a question. I've got a question, and I feel
when
entitled.
Hank died and came back, the static group
That's pretty
war
good.
through the set.
Yes.
thing.
Pretty good.
Days?
wait, what?
Favorite action scene? Go, Days. Action scene.
Oh,
What was your favorite action scene?
we killed the fuck out of one of those monsters.
Are you talking about the lion?
The lion.
Yes.
Or the cherub. Oh god, the cherub.
The cherub was one of my favorite horror scenes. It dances down from a cabin. Like,
Or
come
the
on.
cabinet? Yeah.
Cabinet. But we really handled that one of those really well. Is this rapid fire? Why am I
Yeah.
talking so fast?
I feel like it's rapid fire. What about you, Jean? What's your favorite action scene?
I think
the
it was it was coming down on the ship between the lakes and just the heroism of Busiak, of like tucking and rolling at the end, catching everybody, like
Well-
catching this
Well,
person,
keep in
catching this
mind,
person,
he could
saving
have
everyone.
died
So-
because he took the
so
damage
heroic.
and just
Next,
happened to roll.
we got
And
an electric.
Wait, what about Joe?
Dad.
What about Joe? What about Joe?
No,
Quick one
my
before
favorite
we.
action scene, my favorite action moment, and this was do or die. It was when Benji rolls a clutch first aid roll and saves Benedict's life in the
Yeah.
back of that car after he'd been stabbed in the neck. Because Benji was not built for that, and he did it anyway.
Yeah.
You know, but it was like that was so clutch, and again, not like actiony in that way, but man, like that was awesome.
Cinematically.
Yeah,
Great
very
scene.
cinematically, yeah. So our last question, by Electric Manad. So the first one is unrelated to DG. I've been curious. What was your dissertation topic? I think that's to me. It's about.
No, I'll take this one.
Okay, let's let Dace tell you about my dissertation topic. It's about values and mental health and how if we take people's values into account, we can help them better mentally. That's the very
Nerd.
quick. I'm a fucking nerd, is what it is.
Are you into like helping people and stuff? That's so fucking lame, dude.
Not unless I have
We're
to.
such a supportive friend group.
So, but then he says, but then there is another one. Oh wait, hold on, I have another one. Why do you think was Abigail taken through the night floors and into Carcosa, where she appears to occupy a fairly high position in court? All the other inhabitants of the building were pretty much stuck there, and the hotel seems to trap people in its decaying opulence like bugs in amber.
Good imagery.
What was it about Abigail specifically? So I had kind of already said what I think. Like, there's something going on there. There's some references to Abigail,
just
maybe
Made that
having
up
this relationship
earlier,
with the king.
but since there's like a whole artistic spin on this specific eldritch being thing, whatever it is, like I'd like the idea that she's the muse, because if she brings the dude his bottle or is the catalyst for us following her to bring the dude this bottle, then that'd be like a cool spin on it.
Right. No, that is a really good. I like that. Like the like literally the old oh my god. Do you guys remember the muse from the Sandman? Like
Yeah, like
from
that
the
whole
Sandman
idea, like
comics?
in Greek, you know, like a artist can't create their
like
their
without the
masterpiece,
muse, right?
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, there's something about her and maybe not necessarily JC Lynn's, but something about her and the king and being that muse in that way. But it's weird because, you know, there are references to where she goes through the Lake of Hali. It doesn't really talk about, like, and you know that she went to the hotel because people tell you, oh yeah, she was here and she checked out. Like, you get told that. So it's like she was there, but she doesn't go through the hell that everyone else does. You know, because it's just her journey is different. Her journey is not the same.
But also, I just got done with Hyperion Days, and there's like a whole thing with the muse, and it's like a sci-fi eldritch horror thing. But I still think that fits for her.
Sci-fi novel.
Yeah.
I just figured she's real hot.
Super hot. The king's super into her. You know?
Oh god. Am I misremembering? But in the beginning, did she like collect a lot of things? Or was it just her obsession? But didn't she like collect
that was the
a whole lot of
last
things?
thing she did. She created this, and it was one of those things. You know, somebody had asked if there's anything I wish I had gone into more. I wish I had put more emphasis on how her room was like a weird shrine. And I wish I would have gone into more detail about specific things in the room, because there are things in the room that she should not have had and should not have been able to have, like Lobolus's radio, like little references to things that you would run into later.
So maybe there's some thin
Bolus's radio.
There's some thin reference there to how she's kind of the same as the king, in that like the king is just collecting, and there's this gravity to the King in Yellow and Carcosa, and maybe he wants somebody who's also a collector to just collect pieces.
What if
the
she's
world.
What if she's related to the King in Yellow somehow?
Well, you know, there is the lineage, right? There's this whole thing about
Yeah, how
the
does
lineage of the king.
Yeah.
Lineage, because I feel like you said the King in Yellow is the story. It's like all the same thing. Like, you know, it's not separate.
I don't know, like the lineage. If you read the actual Robert Chambers stuff, you get. I'm not going to say you get more insight because it's still pretty confusing, but it's meant to be, right? It's meant to be a little bit beyond mortal kin, I think. I don't think it's just bad writing. Well, like, but it's like, you know, the writing. So how about this? There was this. There's actually this game that Gabby and I were watching someone play. That was like a King in Yellow based horror game, and in their world, the King in Yellow was infecting the entire planet and was like pulling it down into Carcosa, basically, and everything was turning into all bugs and ruin and war and just like awful, like weirdness. And it's like, that can happen. Now, for whatever reason, Abigail, you know, in our world or in the Delta Green world that these characters experience, the whole world didn't go, or at least not in you guys' experience.
It also seems cyclical because the writer's there, but he hasn't written it yet. So it's like, maybe that does happen, but then it like shoots back out the other way somehow.
Right. But like the writer has to write in order for the writer to exist.
Yeah.
So it has happened. So it is the Ouroboros. It's always eating its tail. It's always creating itself and vomiting itself back up. You know, so like it is that. Abigail's in there somewhere.
I do wonder. Okay, so now I have an actual serious theory instead of a joke theory. What's the name of that Spanish movie, Pan's Labyrinth?
Oh yeah.
Do y'all remember the ending of that movie?
Yep.
I think so.
So what are you trying to make some comparison to Abigail in that?
I mean, what if she is like, you know, the actual ordained queen of the Yellow, and he has been grooming her, and that's like where her mind has gone, much like the main protagonist in Pan's Labyrinth.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
You know what I
there is an element of like that Abigail goes to the ball, but she's also always been at the ball because the ball's always been going, and it's always almost been midnight, always, and the people waiting outside have always been waiting, and they will continue to wait, but they'll get in eventually, but they'll also be waiting, right? So it's like
So what's the trauma it's analogy for to make that theory work?
the Pan's Labyrinth theory.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I think that end of the day, I think that I think she still is a hook. I do not know. They did not see fit. The writers, I think, wisely chose not to detail it out because I think that would have been limiting. Like we wouldn't be having this
We
conversation.
wouldn't have this conversation, yeah.
You know, because they would have put a pin on it. They would have put bookends on it, and that's all she would have.
Oh, that's so valid. It makes me angry.
Right. I don't know. Like so.
Go ahead.
Well. So I actually have a question here for Brad. This is not about Impossible Landscapes, and a lot of this has been about Impossible Landscapes, which is fine. People had questions about Impossible Landscapes, obviously.
4 inches.
4 inches is the answer. Really?
You
Is that
don't know
you, or
that.
is that for you or Brad? Is that Brad's answer?
Sorry,
You
times
don't
are
know
four.
that.
He gets all angry.
No! You don't know that.
Well, like, Brad, so, you know, like writing up Remember to Forget. So we're, you know, as of this recording, we have done up to episode 4. At the end of episode 4, you know, we had, episode 3, we interrogated Colton Thorpe, and then he exploded into light. And then we went to the impound lot and found that Nemesis had beat us there and had fucking murked everybody, apparently. That was like where we left off, with us being like, oh shit, it's here. We need to go. But like, so Brad, like you know, and then we've talked about it, we've touched on it a few times already, but I want to talk to you about it again. You have done a really good job, I think, of keeping this operation like feeling super tense, and like every moment where it feels like, okay, we're sneaking around and gathering information. Okay, all right, shit got real again.
There's
And
no
the thing
home
was,
scene
is
coming.
Yeah, there's no home scene in our future. That's for fucking sure. But I was listening back to Music from a Darkened Room, and I was like, man, Brad did that too in Music from a Darkened Room, and he did that really well. Like there were many situations where right at the end, you really ramped up things at the end of one of our recording sessions. So like, is this like a conscious thing that you have done in your decision of like how things are going to go, or like, you know, how are you doing this? Or is it just happening because we're better than you? We're better players than you are a handler. Is that
Could be.
I'm not
Could
there
be.
to taint someone else's handling of an operation.
You don't want to handle the taint?
You don't want to handle the taint?
I think I've just gotten lucky. I don't know. Honestly.
All right.
It's just been going. I've gotten lucky so far. Yeah. But I mean, this one's supposed to be way shorter than Music from a Darkened Room.
I gotcha. Well, and I will say too, like over on the Patreon, Electric Monad, who had given us that last question, had also dropped a Spotify playlist because Brad had talked about how there's certain music from the 80s that's really inspirational to him. Electric Monad dropped a playlist that's got a bunch of real bangers on it.
Yeah, I did like it. It's very spot on.
Yeah.
Were any of those like songs that you'd chosen already?
Let me look back.
I know I did see Psycho Killer.
Yeah,
by
Psycho
Talking Heads
Killer was on there. I will drop mine. Let me go through this.
John's over here like, wrap it up, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Happy second work day.
Not really. I'm chill.
Rebel Yell, which obviously that's that was yeah, they've got some for sure. I'll give out mine as well. I don't want to give it out because it might be fairly obvious what's going on. once you see all the songs that I have in a row.
Oh, nice.
But after the thing, I'll show, because there's definitely a theme.
You connect all of the first letters of the titles, and it spells out the script.
Just what.
Of...
But there are so many 80s songs that you could like put. How do I say it? That have to do with. Never mind. Forget I said anything.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna go back and just start listening to some Michael
rescinded.
Jackson and be like, what does it mean? What does it mean for Delta Green?
Yeah, but I did like his playlist. For sure.
I will say too the so the name of the playlist is it's on the Patreon. It's a comment from one of the episodes on Patreon. So like Electric Manat shared this publicly, but it's called "Soundtrack for an Invisible War" is the name of it. And the picture for it is a soldier from what looks like Desert Storm, looks like casually dropping a hand grenade down a stairwell, without much stress.
That must be on Spotify property.
And it just says vibe check as they're dropping the hand grenade. But yeah. Well, I don't know. Like, do you guys have any do you guys have any burning questions that you kind of want to touch on before we and this is gonna be a long episode, but it's good for Q&A. Do you guys have anything you want to add? Any burning questions you have?
I know this seems like
maybe
this
for Brad,
is kind of like I'm just going back to Impossible Landscapes because this is kind of like the final long form topic of it. It seems like
probably, yeah.
I don't know. It was a lot of fun. I think it's just a feat for us. It's the longest campaign I think any of us have been a part of.
Yeah, 100%.
It's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
2.5 years.
Yeah.
Is that out?
I think it's like 3 years, wasn't it?
Right at 2.5.
Was it?
Yeah.
2.5.
That's a feat.
Brad ran us through a campaign, and it was only like 1.5 years. We
It was
gave
almost
him a
like
present.
right at 1. I know. We need to think of something for Joe.
Stripper?
I tried. I was outside his house. I was holding his present, but he just seemed to like
he was
want
wearing
to go
his
away.
own face
Tassels
skin.
on. God damn it. Okay.
I'm so
We gotta think deeper.
well, like I say, if there's, I just want to say it's like I'm really glad that we have people who, I hope that we got to most of the questions, or we did get all the questions that I had at the time of recording. So I'm just glad that people, honestly, I'm glad that people listen and that they give a shit enough of a shit to ask questions.
Yeah,
we obviously had
appreciate
a
that.
load of fun. Just doing the podcast in general. And yeah, it's like, and it is kind of good to kind of talk about Impossible Landscapes one more time before retiring it to memory forever and never talking about it ever again.
I don't know
I'm
if that's
checking.
gonna happen.
Ever again.
I'm checking the Reddit one more time just to see. This is the
Just to see if
final.
there's
We've
no one
got
else.
all of the questions.
No, I'm sure we'll
Yeah.
talk about it again, but I don't know. Just thinking back
Weird.
on it, I think it's pretty rare that you run something where literally everybody is invested to jump on once to twice, 2 to 3 times a month to sit for a few hours on video calls to like enjoy this, and that's something special. So I'm really glad for that. Thank you guys.
Yeah. Well, and
And
we've
listeners.
mentioned it before, like
And listeners.
absolutely.
Same, John. Same.
We were always going to play this game. Recording it was just a few extra buttons to push, so we just kind of decided to give it a go. But
That's an insane understatement.
Yeah,
but,
Joe, you are underselling how much
candor.
effort.
You do so much behind the screen.
Yeah.
Like, in addition to handling, Joe does so much fucking work to make this happen.
Yeah.
Which I know we all appreciate. And thanks, man.
But
Thanks for running it.
But
Yeah,
honestly,
thank
like
you.
I just like similar to Jean, you know, there are so few situations in which you get a group of people together to do things for years on end together, to be like, we're going to dedicate this time and build our schedule around doing this, with coming together with my friends and doing it. I think that honestly, TTRPGs is one of those few things that people do like that. Period, honestly.
It has been the most consistent thing in my life for the past 3 years. I can't think of anything else. Yeah. Maybe band practice. Or maybe not, actually.
Maybe not, actually, when I think about it. All right. Well, listen, guys. Thank you so much for doing for doing Impossible Landscapes for 2.5 years, like Sean said, and just continue to do it. And I hope that we continue to give everyone a really good run for your money. I am loving Remember to Forget so much, and I want to let you guys know. And Steve, I recently was talking to Steve, and Steve texted me. He's like, "Hey, have you worked any more on the operation?" I was like, "Nope, because I'm a big asshole." But since then, I have done a lot, and I actually was like bouncing some stuff off Gabby, and she's giving me some really fun stuff to add in. Oh, you guys are gonna hate it. It's gonna be so good.
So you're gonna do yours next? You think, or the?
I don't think we'll do it. I don't think we'll do it next, but it might be coming.
Nice.
It might be the one after the next. But listen, everyone listening. We're not doing it live, so no one watching. But everyone listening, thank you so much for sending in your questions. Next time we do one, we'll do a similar thing. We'll announce it publicly, and give you guys a good opportunity to ask questions about whatever you got out there. I'm glad we got to talk about Impossible Landscapes a little more, and I'm just glad we got to do this.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
been a great
Thanks
ride.
so much. Yeah, but everyone, thank you for listening, and remember, as always, stay safe and stay sane. Bye.
Adios.